rapper turn can't morph into us, but a turn rapper can morph.
Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 19 on EA Sports. On deck, we've got what should be a great matchup between the Detroit Lions and the Green Bay Packers. With that, let's get up to Green Bay, Wisconsin. Standing by for the call from venerable Lambeau Field, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
And we come to you from one of the truly iconic stadiums in the NFL as you get a look at Lambeau Field here in Green Bay, Wisconsin. We all know this community lives for its Packers, and the green and gold came out of the tunnel a short time ago, and it was loud. We are ready for football, so are they, as the Packers get set to match up with the Detroit Lions. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis, happy to you. And Charles, we've got two teams who know each other extremely well. These division games, they tend to be battles.
People scout like crazy in this league, but no one scouts more than within the division. Because if you win your division, you're automatically in the playoffs. That puts extra emphasis on these games, and they can't wait to get at each other. So
here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by a former Pro Bowl quarterback out of the University of Georgia, Matthew Stafford.
And his arm strength is often described as out of this world, and I've seen some throws out of him that are just really off the charts. But sometimes he relied on his arm so much, his footwork got in the way, led to some inconsistency. But I've loved watching him evolve as a quarterback. He gets better and better each year.
First carry for Amir Abdullah, and he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. And we look now at the Lions offense.
Golden Tate is a dream for a play caller as a wide receiver because you can use him all over the field. Use him out wide, bring him into the slot, circle him into the backfield, where he can take handoffs as a running back. But the key part of his game, run after catch. Usually one of the top players in the NFL in that statistic.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Throwing is Stafford. He goes underneath to Abdullah. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. They'll get nothing out of that one, and it's going to lead to a 3rd down. And the big meat on the D-line, we'll see how they do today.
And I'd hate to be an offensive lineman having to deal with these guys. They come in hungry, mean, and confident. They think that no one can block them.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. Back to throw, Stafford. And this is going to be incomplete. Blake Martinez, the linebacker, was there in coverage to disrupt.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. 3rd down defense, something we got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
This will be fielded at the 17. And that's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by the former Cal Bear, Aaron Rodgers.
I think Aaron Rodgers is one of the poster boys for persistence and belief in self. Because coming out of high school, he had 0 scholarship offers in the D1 level. Went to a junior college, went to Cal, and just blew up there. And then, of course, is a 1st-round draft pick, but a lot lower than what he expected in the 1st round, and then had to sit behind Brett Favre for a few years in Green Bay before getting his shot. Now he's probably one of the better quarterbacks that we've seen come down the pipe.
And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
Let's go, hey, let's go, come on.
Rodgers to throw on second down. He gets it over the middle to Cobb. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. Partner, your thoughts on this D-line?
I love a unit that can control the run and get after the passer. This is an all-around terrific defensive front. Hard to move the ball against them on the ground, and then when you want to throw it, look out. Here they come after the quarterback.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. To throw is Rodgers. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. What can't Aaron Rodgers do? The legwork there getting him the first.
I'm not sure he falls under the category of mobile quarterback, but he's athletic enough that if you don't keep your rush lanes intact, he finds a way to hurt you.
As coaches like to say, I wouldn't call him a burner, but enough there in the tank. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right.
And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. But it looked like a Packer. Yeah, a Packer was able to get this back, and they'll indeed keep possession.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Now they'll throw with Rodgers. Caught on the right side by Adams. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the first down. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. If you make the stop there, maybe you hold them to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide to do here, because they've got to change up what they have been doing. It hasn't been working.
Right back to him on first down. And he'll fall forward to the 29-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up, because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On second down, here's Rodgers. Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now Rodgers throwing on second down. And Lewis has it, the tight end. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, 2nd down.
Chances are good he's going to be a very busy guy. 2 catches already in this opening drive, and they were looking his way for a 3rd.
I think they put this defense on notice that that could be a really, really frequent combination. Now they go screen. It's complete. That catch good for 8, but still, it's 3rd and goal now.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Rodgers now on 3rd and goal. And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. Jimmy Graham, a 1-yard touchdown reception. And the Packers have taken the early lead. Well, it was 3rd and 1. I was expecting runs, so much for that. They pass it, they score it.
That had the feel of the head coach telling the offensive coordinator, you've got 4 downs here. We're going to go for it on 4th down unless there's a disaster on 3rd. Go ahead and take a shot if you want to. And he gratefully accepted the opportunity and did exactly that. If they didn't get it there, that had the feel that they would come back and try it on 4th down.
Crosby on now to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of 1st downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
And that's twice now already in this first quarter that he's been able to knock a ball away.
They're going to need that from him and plenty more if they want to slow down this passing game. Thus far, though, he's been a ball magnet.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Now Stafford. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
It's a nice job hitting him on the angle route there. Come out the backfield, cutting sharply across the middle. And that's good timing between the quarterback and his receiver.
Effective 3rd down play to move the chains. Here with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, as the Lions are in possession of the football here to begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a 1st down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Stafford. This is Riddick on the screen. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly. To the air again, Stafford. Over the middle, complete to Tate. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Stafford looks to throw again. Able to locate Wilson. And he's got the 1st down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. Stafford to the former Seahawk Wilson for a Lions 1st. Continuing to steadily move the ball down the field. Not big play after big play, but these moderate gains getting him 1st downs.
And you know what they add up to, right? If you continue that pace and you continue to move it downfield, They add up into 6 points. That's exactly what you're looking for.
Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. They only needed a few inches there on 2nd, but forget the halfback dive. They were going for the big one.
I thought it was a good time to take a shot. You figure their running game, if they don't get it there, you come back and run for it and pick up the 1st down. Go ahead and be aggressive. Try and get one downfield for a big one. They gain nothing, and all they need are inches. Usually we put this on the offensive line, but sometimes it's the quarterback's fault as well on the sneak. You've got to get low and burrow.
Usually we talk about O-line surge, their D-line surge leading to 4th. And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. They only needed a few inches, and they didn't get much more than that, but by about the width of a shoelace, they convert on 4th down. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Rolling to it, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Nick Perry in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this 1st half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Over the middle, complete. It's Tate, and he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. It's picked up. A live ball. Here, remember.
Those really long field goals, when they are made, they are things of beauty. But there is a danger to getting them started, isn't there?
Yeah, with that low drive, you've got to really keep it low to the ground, don't you, to get that distance?
Yeah, hard to just pop it up in the air because otherwise it's not going to get there. So he's got to drive it low in order to have the distance, and that usually puts it in jeopardy, gives him a chance to block it, and everyone knows it on the other side. That's when you get your best jumpers on the other side of the field and try and get up and get it.
And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Rodgers steps away. Now look out. Rodgers lost the football, but it looked like a Packer. Yeah, Packer was able to get this back, and they'll indeed keep possession.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from it. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
That's brought in by Davis over the middle. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
They didn't get the 1st down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the 1st. They'll go for it. It's Rodgers. It's complete. Swings it out to his running back. And the drive stays in motion with a nice 8-yard pickup on 4th.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. A gain of 6 there on first. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to Lambeau following these words. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. On 2nd down, Montgomery. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Nice job there finding room to maneuver, and he worked his way into another first down. And look, they had great field position to start, but boy, they've done a nice job taking advantage of it.
Now they're just hoping to cap it off. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to take this down to about the 17. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
To throw is Rodgers. To throw on 2nd down. And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
Different pass rushes are designed for different things. Sometimes you want to keep the quarterback in the pocket. Sometimes you want him to flush. I don't know exactly how this one was designed, but they made sure they moved him to his right. He got out of the pocket. Unfortunately for him, he was hit as he tried to throw the ball, and that resulted in an incompletion.
Rodgers going to try and throw on 3rd down. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Cobb. And he will have the first down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as he'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. So we're back in the offense getting set following the call of that timeout. Shotgun now for Rodgers. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. He'll get only 2 there, and it's 2nd and goal. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. And now Rodgers not pleased with the setup. He's going to take a timeout, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. So the offense takes the timeout, and they are back out and ready to rock. They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. Rodgers to throw once more. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Get your backs to the goal line. I can hear my high school coach right now. This is when force meets force. Got to be physical in order to win this battle.
Yeah, that's where the physicality pays off. A nice job forcing the contact and forcing the incompletion.
Yeah, Coach Ford would have loved that play.
Now Rodgers gonna throw on 3rd and goal. And they will score. It's a Packer touchdown. Aaron Rodgers with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Packers add on to their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the 2nd quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the 2nd half.
Extra point up and good by Crosby. And that'll make the score 14-0. 12 plays in length. And it's capped off by a touchdown run of 6 yards. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24.
Looking for Tate, and it's intercepted. Picked up. By Jair Alexander.
Timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. So after the INT, it's Rodgers. On the crossing route, complete. It's Graham. Heck of a broken tackle and able to work this down near the 23. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. And he probably should have given that one off as he's going to get hit and taken down behind the line. And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over. We'll see what they come up with here on this next play. They had great starting position to begin the drive, but now they look up at a 3rd and 5. Shotgun now for Rodgers. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock. So on now for the Packers is their all-time leading scorer, Mason Crosby. From the left hash, it's a 42-yard attempt. And Crosby puts it through, and the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling. Doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. So we're at halftime here at Lambeau with the Packers taking the lead to the break. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome, everyone, to this abridged version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one is maybe not exactly in the bag yet, but there is definitely a big mountain to climb in this 3rd quarter. The team is already back out there, so let's not waste any time as we'll turn it back over to Brandon Gaudin.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? I mean, they score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you think you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they get to that end zone real fast.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 41. And they'll go on the ground. And he's going to be brought down at about the 33-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. They'll run it now out of the gun. Montgomery a first down and then some. Touchdown, Packers. Ty Montgomery, 33 yards. And the Packers add 6 to their lead.
When you know you've got a home run hitter on your side of the ball, and you know that he can score from anywhere on the field, it usually inspires the rest of the guys to do their jobs even better. That resulted in a lot of great blocks downfield because they knew if they gave him space, he could do exactly what he did, put the ball in the end zone.
Crosby with the extra point, and the lead is now 24. Crosby on now to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I'll bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
And he's got his man on the out route. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Clay Matthews able to get him for a loss of about 3.
Well, that was an interesting little chess match there because the offense went empty set. No running backs in the backfield, so they're trying to get people out into a route pretty quickly. But guess what? The defense sees that. They go ahead and move themselves into a blitzing situation and come right after the quarterback. They had more guys there than they could block.
Stafford, flush to his right. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. They'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3. But now it's 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. The 13 yards that time of the first.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
Took till the second half, but finally a red zone opportunity here. They have a 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
Here's Stafford now on 2nd down. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. Luke Wilson, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Lions are able to draw a bit closer. They went empty backfield, all their weapons out wide, so there really was no secret here to what they were going to do.
No secret, but they still had to execute it, and they still had to protect the guy throwing the ball, because oftentimes when you empty the backfield, people bring pressure at you. They managed to hold in there and successfully complete the touchdown pass.
A good drive that time as they... Go 9 plays in all. And the end result, a Detroit touchdown. Martin, the punter, now out to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And that last drive, it was all about the ground game, ground and pound.
And I don't care how we're playing the game these days, offensive linemen still want to fire out and smack the guy opposite them and move the football on the ground. They feel better about that. That's what they want to do. That's how they want to play, and that's how they got it done.
Yeah, they got it for a touchdown last drive. Let's see what happens here. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Now Rodgers. He's got Lewis, and he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
The Packers on 3rd down. They've hit on 6 of their 8 tries. Very good. This will be 3rd and 5. Working from the gun. Rodgers. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line. So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. Now, they were good last time out with a touchdown drive. This go-around, it's not going to be very easy starting from inside their own 5.
But they shouldn't be daunted by it. You work on this the entire offseason. You work on it in practice. It's called coming out session. Start the ball inside the 5, start on the 5, on the 10. They should be ready to go. How about that shuffle pass? Or if you want to call it the shovel pass, that's fine too. That's one of those plays that you take a little bit of risk there because you're trying to throw the ball into the middle of the field where a lot of big bodies lurk, and they can knock it away, pick it off, but they were able to execute it successfully on that play.
Wide open receiver complete. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. A good pickup there, 26 yards. On first down, Stafford here. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that one incomplete. They try to sneak in a deep ball with the clock running down, but to no avail as time will expire on this third quarter of play. Back now at Lambeau. It's the Lions trailing, but with possession of the football as we get set to bring you the fourth quarter. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. On 2nd and 10, Stafford. And an alley to run. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a third down. The Lions on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. From the gun, here's Stafford. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And Jones has it over the middle. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. From the 50, Stafford. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. Jake Ryan in there to drop him for a loss on the play.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
And with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He's able to rattle off 6 on the carry, and that'll get him to 3rd and 4.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
From the gun on 3rd down, Stafford. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Now, he's been a busy man out of the backfield. They've looked his way quite a bit so far in this game.
Nice job there defensively, though, adjusting, because a couple of his earlier catches, he was wide open. Not that time.
You mentioned the key word, adjustment. A better cover man on him now in space.
Over the middle, complete. That's Jones. So no reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Stafford on 1st down. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Then it's Ha-Ha Clinton. With a pick. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. Now, the previous drive they punted, but that was just the first time they've had to do so in this game.
And when they turn on the game film, the coaches will rant about this, right? They'll say, oh, God, we got to move the ball, guys. We can't punt the ball away. But they have to keep smiles off their faces because that's the first time in the game they've had to do so. They've moved it quite well. They'll overall be happy with what they've seen. Where Brandon Pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football. But they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, this is my theme of Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And they're left looking at 3rd and 8 after the second down pass play only went for 2. To throw, it's Rodgers. He'll leave it for Montgomery, complete. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Lions are going to take over with a long field ahead and a 1st and 10. So here come the Lions now. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done. And that's when it's fun to play defense. When you're able to diagnose a play right from the beginning, get all your guys to the football and spill the play, that's when you have a lot of fun playing on that side of the ball.
And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a 1st down.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
First down.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they're marching off another 15 against your squad.
Here's Stanford. Caught right side, Tate. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just let him lead the game out that way.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. And this defense continues to give them fits. They just can't get really anything going on the ground, can they?
I love the theme that you just brought up. This defense has been tough all game long against the run. We just saw another example of it there.
And an alley to run. Maybe not exactly what they had in mind, but that scramble good for 6 and a 1st down.
How many times do we hear that 3rd down may be the most important down in football, and there's no better example than what we just saw right there. Forced to scramble, knows where the 1st down marker is, dives for it, and gets it. What a big-time play, putting his body on the line to pick up a key 1st down.
And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and it's a 2nd down. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Play fake to Abdullah. It's Stafford. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A good pickup there, 26 yards. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. They go play action here on 1st down. That's going to be caught. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Marvin Jones from 21 yards away. And the Lions are able to cut into this lead.
And that touchdown puts us in a position to have a discussion, doesn't it? Now it'll be a 2-score game after the conversion.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt with a 2-score game they're going to have to onside kick it. We'll just see if they've got a miracle up their sleeve.
And you wonder what onside kicks they're going to use and in what sequence if they hope to have a chance to win this game.
2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And this one's going to be covered up by the Packers hands team. Well, for a second there, I had flashbacks to a few years ago, the NFC Championship game for the Packers, but here they're able to hold on.
And many things changed in Green Bay after that game. Personnel, people coaching, the whole deal. And in this case, they get it done. No fail like they had in Seattle.
Now look out, Rodgers lost the football, and the Lions have... recovered.
Well, that's one of those mistakes. That's a fumble that when they get to the sidelines, I know you're mad, Coach, but look, we've still got this locked down, but that's not necessarily true, is it?
Well, their hopes are slim, but you just hate to give them any hope. You could have sealed it right there.
Yeah, could have finished them off and taken away all hope, as we like to say.
Looking left side, and it's complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A very solid gain of 27. Now a first down throw. Stafford out to the flat for Renner. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
He hits Riddick underneath. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. Call it a pickup of 7. And now prior to this 3rd and 1, we're going to get a timeout here as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. So the offensive unit called the TO, and now we are ready to resume play. The Lions on 3rd down, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Again, it's Stafford. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he's got the first down as he gets it to the 8. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. To the air again, Stafford. Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. And the Packers pick it up.
Well, that drive wasn't a case of wanting to put points on the board. It was needing to, having to, and they didn't get it done.
Yeah, didn't get it done, and now you look at the situation and the point differential, 2 scores, pretty much game, set, match.
How about the takeaway, though, huh? How about those defensive guys?
The Lions now going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it with 14 seconds to go in the game. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense.
Hurry up.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he's going to take this up past the 10 to about the 11. And a timeout coming in. This will be their final one with 10 seconds remaining. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. Rodgers will take a knee here, and that should be all she wrote. And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So that's a wrap. For Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. The Packers are winners here as we say so long from Lambeau.